Hello everyone, welcome to Dynamic Study. This is quiz class number 77 on previous year question paper. We have started our discussion on June 2015 question paper and this is the second part of the video. So let's begin. The first question, question number 11. With gold jewels cover every part and hide with ornaments their want of art. Here Pope rejects, this is a line by Pope, and Pope here rejects which one? Option 1, follow nature fallacy. Option 2, artificiality. Option 3, aesthetic code. And option 4, poor taste. Which one is rejected by Pope here? The correct option is option number 2, artificiality. Pope here rejects artificiality. This is a line from Pope's famous essay on criticism. And Pope said these lines while stating that a poet should use plain language and restrict the use of metaphor. While talking about the use of language in poetry, he mentioned these lines and he rejects artificiality in poetry. Okay, next question, question number 12. The opposite of hyperbole is option 1, meiosis, option 2, inversion, option 3, anagnorisis, and option 4, synecdoche. Hyperbole, you all know, hyperbole means exaggeration. So the opposite of hyperbole is what? The correct option is option number 1, meiosis. The opposite of hyperbole is meiosis. Question number 13. What significance do we attach to the publication of I Am an Indian in Canada? Option 1, it is an autobiography of an unknown Indian writer longing for South Asian countryside. Option 2, it is the first account of ethnic conflicts with Canada. Option 3, it is the first anthology of native Canadian writing following the civil rights movement of 1960s. And option 4, it is the first anthology of writers afflicted by class and gender differences in Canada. The correct option is option number 3, first anthology of native Canadian writing following the civil rights movement of 1960s. And the editor was Kent Gooderham. Next, what is the moral of the nun-priest's tale? Nun-priest has told a beast fable in Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. So what is the moral of that beast fable? Option 1, slow and steady wins the race. Option 2, greed is the root of all evil. Option 3, beauty lies within. And option 4, never trusts a flatterer. Which one is the moral? The correct option is option number 4, never trusts a flatterer. Also remember that Nun-Priest's Tale is composed in 626 line long narrative poem. Okay. Next, who wrote the essay Silly Novels by Lady Novelists? Option 1, George Eliot. Option 2, Henry James. Option 3, Oscar Wilde. And option 4, Richard Steele. Who wrote the essay Silly Novels by Lady Novelists? The correct option is George Eliot, option number 1. In this novel, George Eliot criticizes the mind and millinery novel. Mind and millinery is a phrase coined by George Eliot. And what does she mean by that? She means that these are the novels which has beautiful, virtuous heroines happily married to the man she loves. So she actually criticizes these kind of novels because these are not at all realistic. That doesn't happen in real life. Real life doesn't run so smoothly. So there are a lot of complications in relationships and in our problems in life. So that is not the fact that a beautiful girl she is happily married to the man she loves. That can never almost happen. So there are a lot of complications in marriage and relationships, right? So that is why George Eliot criticizes these kind of novels, because these are not realistic descriptions. These are all idealistic, exaggerated description. So that is why she criticizes those novels as silly novels, mind and millinery novel, and she also criticizes those novelists. Okay, that is the essay written by George Eliot. Next, Robinson Crusoe's struggle to maintain a substantial existence on a lonely island reflects: option 1, man's desire to return to nature; option 2, author's criticism of colonization; option 3, the ideal of rising bourgeois; and option 4, the aristocrat's disdain for the harsh total reality. Which one is the correct option? The correct option is option number 3, the ideal of rising bourgeois. This is the correct answer. Question number 17. Who wrote the Celtic Twilight? Option 1, J.M. Synge; option 2, C. No. Casey; option 3, W.B. Yeats; and option 4, Lady Gregory. All of them are associated with Irish literary revival or the Celtic revival, right? So who wrote the Celtic Twilight? The correct option is W.B. Yeats, and this is a prose collection. Please remember that this is a prose collection. We move on to question number 18. In medieval England, dash was understood to be a trained craftsman, one who worked under a master who owned the business. So the job of a trained craftsman who worked under a master. Which one? Option 1, pardoner; option 2, summoner; option 3, journeyman; and option 4, manciple. The correct answer is option number 3, journeyman. Journeyman is the correct answer. Question number 19. In one of Marlowe's plays, the hero wants to conquer the whole world. Which play? Option 1, The Jew of Malta; option 2, Dr. Faustus; option 3, Tamburlaine the Great; and option 4, Edward II. Which play? The correct option is Tamburlaine the Great, option number 3. Question number 20. In Ode to a Nightingale, the speaker claims to be half in love with, this is a famous line from Keats's poem Ode to a Nightingale. Option 1, the nightingale's haunting melody; option 2, the scented flavor of early summer; option 3, the night sky and stars; and option 4, the peace that comes with death. The correct option is option number 4, the peace that comes with death. And Keats has used the phrase easeful death. I am half in love with easeful death. That is the line. Okay, so that is the end of today's video. We will continue our discussion on this question paper in the upcoming videos also. So thank you very much. Keep on watching Dynamic Study. Keep on learning. We will meet very soon in our next class. Have a nice day. Bye bye.